The roast chicken hadn't even cooled when my son, my flesh and blood, stood up, eyes narrowed like twin blades, and yelled, "You're old and useless!" My fork froze midair. My wife dropped her glass. The silence that followed wasn't just awkward. It was a chasm, wide and bottomless. He was 27, tall, smart, handsome, everything I had worked a lifetime to build into him. And now, over dinner, he was tearing me down like I was some crumbling building that had outlived its use. I wiped my mouth slowly, then reached into my jacket pocket. "Is that so?" I asked, and I laid a check on the table, $500,000. His name on it. His face drained of color. It had started weeks before, subtle shifts, fewer phone calls, cold shoulders, the occasional rolled eye when I offered advice about work, about life, about things I had learned the hard way over 60 years. I had chalked it up to stress. Maybe he was overwhelmed, maybe tired. Young men often wear ego like armor, but tonight was different. It was supposed to be a celebration. He'd landed a big promotion, senior marketing director at one of the top firms in the city. I was proud, beyond proud. I remembered when he was just a boy with braces, knees always scraped from the park. He'd told me, "One day I'll be the boss, Dad." And now he was, or so he thought. I watched him across the table, his face twisted in anger, like I had wronged him just by existing. "You don't get it, Dad. You come in here with your old school ideas, trying to tell me how to run my life. You barely know how the world works anymore. You're outdated." My wife gasped softly. I didn't flinch. Instead, I said, "What exactly am I not getting, Ethan?" He threw his hands up. "Everything. Business isn't like it was in the 80s. You think because you ran your small company that you understand corporate strategy today. You don't. You're a dinosaur." I studied him. The irony was thick. That small company had employed 150 people. I'd sold it 3 years ago for a tidy $4.7 million. He never asked how I did it, never wanted to know. But I had watched, waited. I'd let him grow without interfering even when he fumbled. That's what real parenting is. Quiet strength in the background, not loud pride in the front. But tonight was a reckoning. "I suppose," I said slowly, "you think you got that promotion on your own?" He blinked. "Of course I did." My wife looked at me confused. I leaned forward, fingers tapping the table gently. "Do you remember James Holland?" He frowned. "The VP, Ethan." But I opened the door. "You walk through it." That was the deal. He was quiet now. So I reached into my jacket pocket. "And this," I said, placing the check on the table. "This was going to be your reward. I had it drawn up yesterday. I was going to give it to you tonight for the down payment on your dream house or to start your own company if you wanted because I believe in you." The check sat there heavy with implication. $500,000, his name etched in perfect ink. "But now," I said quietly, "I'm not so sure." His eyes widened. "Dad, I didn't know." I nodded. "You didn't ask. You assumed. You let your success convince you." I had nothing left to offer. The room felt smaller, like it was closing in on him. "You think age makes someone useless?" I asked. "Let me tell you something. Age teaches patience, wisdom, sacrifice. It gives you eyes that can see storms before they form, not just when they hit. You might have climbed fast, Ethan, but I built the ladder." He stared at the check like it was a grenade. "I'm sorry," he finally whispered. "I'm not angry," I said, standing. "But I am disappointed. Not because you don't need me, but because you think you've outgrown the people who made you possible." I picked up the check. He stood up. "Dad, wait. Don't take it." I folded it and put it back in my pocket. "This isn't about the money," I said. It never was. That night he didn't sleep. I heard him pacing downstairs. The next morning I found him in the kitchen, mug in hand, eyes tired but different. Wiser, maybe. "Dad," he said. "I want to know more about the company, about how you did it, about everything." I smiled. "Good. Then we'll start today." And we did. I never mentioned the check again, but 3 months later, on his 28th birthday, I handed him an envelope. Inside, it was not just the original check, but a letter. One line stood out. "The greatest inheritance a father can give is not wealth, but the wisdom to use it."